Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome if you're new. I'm Cheryl. And friends, we are going to cook a chuck roast. Fred Meyer had these buy one get one free on their sale this week. And so we haven't had pot roast in quite a while. It sounded kind of tasty. My original plan for pot roast was I was planning to make some fresh milled bread and make some hoagie rolls and do some sort of a beef sandwich with this meat. Well, I got my food mill today, or my flour mill. That's what I'm trying to say. Got my flour mill today, and I have looked at 2 stores already for wheat berries, and I cannot find any here. So I'm gonna check 1 or 2 more stores. I'm just gonna call them because I'm not driving around anymore. I'm gonna call 1 or 2 more stores and see if they have them. If they don't, I'm just gonna order them online, and we will wait to make our bread until I can get the wheat berries. So we're just gonna season this up really quickly, and we're just gonna do something really simple with this because it's getting late in the day and I need to get this cooked. I had originally planned, you know, like I said, to cook this and do the sandwiches with it, and that just did not work out. So I'm gonna use some of this Kinder's steak seasoning. We're gonna put that on there. We're gonna put this in a hot pan. We're gonna brown both sides, and then we're gonna put it in our crock pot, and we're gonna do something delicious with it tonight. All right, friends, so our meat's cooking over there. So I'm gonna just do my pot roast today the way my grandmother used to do it all the time. This was her favorite way of doing pot roast. Yes, we are trying to change the way we're eating. We're trying to get rid of the things in our house that have chemicals, that kind of stuff, but I still have things I need to use up. So I still have a can of cream of mushroom soup, which was her favorite to put on pot roast. I still have a packet of onion soup mix. So we're still working through the things we have in our house that I don't want to get rid of. I don't want to just throw them away. So we're getting rid of that stuff, using it up. And as we start to lose or use up all these things in our house, we're looking for better ways to make them. So this is, I believe, my last packet of onion soup mix. It is my last can of cream of mushroom soup. So we'll use those up. Those will be gone, and we can move forward with making our own, which is going to be super exciting. But this is just an easy way. Like I said, it's late right now. I got a late start doing this because I was hoping that my grinder was going to get here today. It did, and then I went looking for wheat berries, could not find them. So we're just going to move forward with doing a classic pot roast this tonight, the way my grandmother always did it, with some mashed potatoes, probably some carrots, and this is going to be delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my burner. Here is my pot roast. We're going to get this put down in our pan, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my onion soup mix over the top. My grandmother always loved using onion soup. She used it in all kinds of stuff. Her meatloaf, her pot roast, you name it, she put it in it. So I'm excited now that this packet is going to be gone, that I can start looking for a way to make onion soup mix myself. I know there's lots of people out there that make it on YouTube, and so I'm just going to start watching some of those videos and finding the best way to make my own onion soup mix. I know how to make cream of mushroom soup. I've made it many times before from scratch, so that's not going to be an issue. But I do want to use up what I have in my house before we move on. So I'm just going to dump this can in here. I like putting the soup down after I put the onion soup mix because I feel like the onion soup mix can burn, and I like having that barrier, that moisture. So we're just going to spread this all over our pot roast. So now I am not, unlike a lot of people, I am not a fan of potatoes or carrots cooked in a pot roast. I just don't love the texture. It's not my favorite thing. So I cook them separately. I will probably roast some carrots. That's my favorite way to have carrots, is roasted or raw. So I will roast them in the oven, and I will just make mashed potatoes like I always make them and call it good, because as I said, it's just not my favorite texture. Never has been. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really love it, and I don't really love it now either. So we're not going to do that. So I'm still using up the last of my Better Than bouillon. So I just put about 1.5 teaspoons of Better Than bouillon in this pitcher with some water. I'm just going to whisk it, kind of get that broth broken up a little bit. We're just going to pour this. I'm not going to pour it on top of my meat. I'm going to pour it around the meat because I don't want to wash off all of that mushroom soup that I put on top. I want that to still be up there. It acts kind of as a barrier to really keep that meat nice and moist and not let it dry out on top. All right, so there is our basic pot roast, the way my Grammy made it. We're just gonna turn this up on high because, as I said, it is really late in the day right now. So we're gonna put this up on high, let this cook until dinner time. All right, our pot roast is done. I just made some really simple mashed potatoes. You guys have seen me do them 100 times. Just really simple ones. I roasted some carrots. As I told you guys earlier, I do not like the texture of carrots or potatoes cooked with a pot roast. So we just have our pot roast and gravy. We're gonna dish that up over these potatoes, put some carrots on the side, and dinner's ready. So you can see how absolutely fall apart tender this roast is. It is just perfect. This is what I want when I want a good pot roast. I want it to be fall apart tender. We're gonna just get some gravy. That's what I love about the soup. It's not a super thick gravy, but I'm okay with that. If I wanted to, I could put a little bit of cornstarch in here, make a slurry and do it that way, but I don't need to. That's perfect. So there's my Grammy's pot roast, mashed potatoes and some carrots. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, friends, we're back in the kitchen. It's Friday night. We're gonna cook a really quick dinner, something super easy. If you missed it, we did some fresh milled flour yesterday to do some delicious bread. We're gonna have that tonight. Make some quick garlic butter to go on it, put that in the oven. Got my water over here going for my pasta. We're trying a new pasta tonight. I'm super excited about this. I've seen this advertised. I watch a lot of YouTube, obviously. And so when I'm watching YouTube, there's my oven. I keep seeing this pasta advertised and I thought it would be fascinating to try it. So when I went on the hunt a couple of days ago for my wheat berries, I could not find them anyplace. I finally found them in a natural grocers in Eugene. So I went and picked those up, but they had this sourdough pasta. Super excited to try this. I've seen this advertised quite a bit. So we're gonna have this tonight with, I grabbed this at Trader Joe's. I've had this one. It's basically their Alfredo with pepper. I think it's gonna be super tasty, so we're gonna put that on our pasta. I have some fresh broccoli that I grabbed. I've already got it cut up down here and ready to go. We're gonna put that with some chicken sausage. These are all natural, organic chicken sausages that we got at Trader Joe's. And we're gonna finish it off with just a little bit of this Asiago cheese that we got. And yeah, it's gonna be a delicious dinner, something super quick and easy. It's the end of the week. We've had a really busy week and it's gonna be nice to have just a quick dinner and then go sit down and relax for the rest of the evening. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's get this done really quick. As I said, my water's going for my pasta. We'll get that in there as soon as the water comes to a boil. Got my skillet back here. We're gonna get our sausage put in there. And I was trying to decide if I was gonna take this out of the casing and crumble it or dice it, or not dice it, but slice it. I think I'm just gonna slice it up. That's gonna be perfect. And so let's get this chicken sausage done. So I've just got my cutting board or cutting mat down here. You can see my pile of broccoli I've got right here, ready to go. So I'm just gonna slice this sausage into some fairly good size slices. And we're gonna put this in a frying pan over here with a little bit of olive oil and get it started. And then when my pasta is finally done, I'll put that into the skillet and add my sauce to it, put some cheese on it, and it's gonna be done. Our bread's just gonna bake for a couple of minutes in the oven just to get some nice toasty texture to it with our garlic butter. And this is gonna be a delicious dinner. As you guys know, I'm kind of on this journey of looking for better ingredients, food with better ingredients, not as many chemicals, not as many things that are bad for you. So these sausages are very clean ingredient sausage that I got at Trader Joe's, much better for you. Some fresh broccoli. This Alfredo sauce is pretty clean ingredient too. Right now it's all about making small changes to make things better. All right, sausage is ready to go. We're gonna get this in the pan, not with the broccoli yet. We'll put the broccoli in the last couple of minutes. I don't like my broccoli overdone. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of mushy vegetables. So let's get this in our skillet with some olive oil. let this cook and we're gonna serve over bread. So this is our bread that we made yesterday with our fresh milled flour. Got some softened. This is the Costco version of the Kerrygold butter. We're just gonna put some dried parsley in here. And I'm gonna use a little bit of this Jacobsen garlic salt. Mix that into our butter and spread that on our bread. All right, here's our butter all mixed up. We're just gonna spread this on our bread. And this is gonna bake at about 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. I just wanna get it nice and toasty, get the butter all melted. All right, so I got my pasta in the water over here. I'm gonna go and put my broccoli in with my sausage and get that sauteing. I'm gonna mix everything together in my bigger pot, just so I have room. All right, friends, here's our pasta. Here's our chicken sausage and our broccoli. Gonna toss this around a little bit. You can see how delicious that looks. We're gonna put in a little bit of this Alfredo. I'm gonna eyeball it because I don't know how much I'm gonna really need, but I don't want it to be dry. So we're just gonna stir this around. Get all of that pasta and broccoli and sausage coated with that sauce. I'm just gonna add it all. Grab a spatula and scrape the rest of this out. I have not tried this particular Alfredo sauce from Trader Joe's yet, so I'm excited to try it. You guys know hubby loves pepper, so he's probably gonna really enjoy this one. I'm just gonna give this another quick stir. Just need to slice my bread and dinner will be on the table. Our bread is nice and toasty. I'm gonna go ahead and slice this into some pieces. All right, we're gonna put some of this pasta and sausage and broccoli. It smells really, really good. We're gonna grate just a little bit of this Asiago cheese over the top of it. And I wanted some bigger pieces instead of that small stuff I normally do. And there you go. We'll let you know how we like it. All right, friends, we are back in the kitchen. It is Saturday, last meal of this week. Normally I don't do one on Saturday, but I am. Last week was a little bit crazy. Missed a couple of days because of hubby's jury duty and all the craziness. So we're doing something delicious today. He's been out in the woods working all day with some friends of ours, and so I'm cooking something he's gonna love. My husband loves scalloped potatoes. It's one of his favorite side dishes is scalloped potatoes. I found a new recipe for red potatoes, so we're gonna do that tonight. I've also got one of our favorite Smithfield pork loins, and so this is one that's got bacon on it. It's gonna be incredible. Not sure what veggie we're gonna do yet. I'll figure that out when I get everything else finished. But let's get our potatoes started and then we'll do our sauce. So I decided I'm gonna do my sauce first because I don't want my potatoes getting brown on me while we're waiting for our sauce to get finished. Our sauce can just hang out on the stove and then we'll use it for potatoes. So I've got about 3 tablespoons of a really good butter, and I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of flour. Once my butter gets melted, we'll go ahead and put that flour in there. And then we're just gonna add some salt and some pepper and some delicious herbs to it. And then I'm gonna take this off the heat, and then I'm gonna add my cheese. I don't wanna put my cheese in over the heat because it'll just get all grainy. We want a beautiful, rich sauce to go on our potatoes. You can see our butter is getting nice and melted. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my 3 tablespoons of flour. We want to get this nice and smooth so we don't have any lumps in our sauce. We want this to cook for a couple of minutes. We want to get that raw flavor out. While this is cooking, I'm going to put a little bit of stone ground mustard. I love putting just a touch of mustard in my scalloped potatoes. Just really adds a depth of flavor that you don't get otherwise. So we're going to cook that mustard down in there real quick. I think it'll be a nice complement to the roast as well. All right, so I've got my milk. We're gonna go ahead and put our milk in here. And get our sauce all whisked together. I wanna get this to the right consistency for our potatoes before I add any of our herbs to it. Stop with the milk right there and let this come to a boil. Let it kind of thicken if it's going to anymore, and then we'll start adding in all of our delicious flavorings. I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of dehydrated onion. I don't usually add raw onion to stuff like this, so I'm gonna add a couple of good, probably a couple of teaspoons of dehydrated onion in there. I'm gonna add in a little bit of dehydrated garlic. Probably about a teaspoon. We're gonna mix that around. Put a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper in here. And because of the mustard in these would be incredible potatoes with a ham. If you're going to do a ham for Easter, these scalloped potatoes would be amazing with that. We're going to put in a little bit of our Redmond's real salt. I think I'm going to go this thing is really full. I just bought this, and so I think I need to dump it into my salt container. I'm going to put in some cream cheese. I love cream cheese and how creamy it makes our scalloped potatoes. I do this too when I'm doing sheet pan scalloped potatoes. I will put cream cheese in them. I'm gonna do about 2 to 3 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna get that whisked in here. It's thickening up a little bit, so we're gonna add a little more milk. Mix in that cream cheese. Like I said, we're gonna take this off the heat before we add our cheese. I don't want to add cheese to this with the heat on because I don't want my cheese getting grainy on me. And this is not necessarily a loose sauce. This really should be a thicker sauce so it clings to the potatoes. All right, I'm gonna taste this for seasoning, just for salt and pepper. That is so good. That is perfect with salt and pepper. All right, I'm gonna add in some parsley. Still working through this bag of parsley that I filled my container with. Put that in here. I love some freeze-dried chives, so we're gonna add those in. All right, our heat is off. We're gonna go over and grate our cheese, and we're gonna get our cheese put in here. I'm gonna go ahead and do some grated up cheddar. I'm doing cheddar and Parmesan in this. I think those are gonna be a great mix. My dog has decided now is the time to play with her toy. Don't ask me why, but apparently today is, or the time is right for a toy, so. I'm using a olive oil and rosemary Parmesan cheese that I got at Trader Joe's, which I think is gonna be fantastic. So we're gonna put about a cup of cheese in the sauce itself. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of cheese on top of it. I'm gonna bake these with the foil on, and then I'll have a little bit of reserved cheese, and we'll put that on the last probably 5 or 10 minutes that it's in the oven. This is that rosemary and olive oil cheese that we got. I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I think these are gonna be delicious. Hubby is gonna love these with that pork. He loves that pork. It's pretty tasty. I tasted this yesterday. We had it with some pasta and it was so good. Well, you saw it. It was the sourdough pasta we did yesterday. This was so good. I'm not a huge rosemary fan, but in something like this, I like it. I don't like eating the pieces of rosemary. They're very woody and it's just not my favorite thing. All right, I think that's gonna be pretty good as far as cheese goes. So here is our sauce for our potatoes. We're gonna go ahead and put a couple of big handfuls of this cheese in here. Like I said, I'm doing it off the heat because I really don't want that cheese to get grainy on me. So we're just gonna mix it around in here. That looks delicious. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna go ahead and get our potatoes sliced up. Because I'm using red potatoes, I'm gonna do them by hand. And as I get them sliced up, I'm just gonna put them straight into my casserole dish. All right, so I've got all my little red potatoes here, and I'm just gonna slice these about that thick. And as I get them sliced, I'm just gonna put them directly into my casserole dish. Try to keep them kind of in a single layer if I can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a layer of potatoes down in a thin single layer in the pan. And then I'm gonna take part of my sauce and I'm gonna put some sauce down on top of them. Try to keep these layered. If they're too thick without sauce in the middle, they take forever for the potatoes to cook. I think that's about a single layer. Let's put a little sauce on here. All right, I'm just gonna put down a single layer, just a little bit of our sauce. Doesn't have to completely cover them. I just want to get a little bit of sauce down before I start putting down more potatoes. Just like that. All right, let's go and do some more potatoes. Since this layer is up closer to the top of the pan, I'm putting them a little bit thicker up here, but it's still gonna be fine. Got the last of our sauce that we made. And you can use whatever kind of cheese your family enjoys. If you don't want Parmesan, don't use Parmesan. If you want to use all cheddar, use all cheddar. We just love pretty much all cheeses. So I'm totally fine with doing a mix of the two. Scalloped potatoes really should have quite a bit of sauce on them. You want to make sure that the potatoes get covered. So use your spoon and just kind of Get a good cover on those potatoes. We're gonna cover these with foil, like I said. They're gonna cook for about 35 to 40 minutes in the oven at 350. Our pork tenderloin is gonna take about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less. So I'm gonna let these potatoes get started. And about 10 minutes after they go in, I'll put that pork tenderloin in, and then everything will finish in the oven together. We got a little bit of extra cheese we'll put on there before they come out of the oven. All right, friends, these potatoes are out of the oven. Look at those. They smell incredible. Our pork loin is out of the oven. I just grabbed some green beans out of the freezer that we froze together last year or last summer. We're gonna have those along with our potatoes and our pork. So hubby is starving, so am I, so let's get this done. I'm gonna put this pork on my cutting mat, maybe. I'm gonna have to slide it. It's really tender and I don't want to lose all that bacon. So I'm gonna hold this and we're just gonna cut this. Cut us some nice slices. Hubby and I absolutely love this pork tenderloin with the bacon on it. Put a little bit of sauce on it. And it's gonna be delicious. Grab hubby a couple of slices. Take some of this bacon that fell off and put that on there. All right, there's our potatoes, our pork, and our green beans. This is gonna be delicious, friends. We're gonna go enjoy this. Sit back and relax for the rest of the evening, get ready for church tomorrow. I wanna thank you guys so much for joining me this week as we made some fun, delicious recipes. I'll leave all the recipes in the link below, or in the description box. The links will be in the description box below. Friends, it's been a long day. I did an hour live this afternoon. If you missed that, I'll leave a link in the description box for that as well. That was super fun. We did a fun, delicious dessert recipe as well as a drink. We're gonna enjoy that tonight with our dinner. And so, friends, if you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there. Would love to have you a part of our YouTube family. Hit that notification bell so you are notified every time we upload a video. Please give this video a big thumbs up, friends, because that really helps with the algorithm. Really helps YouTube put my videos out there for people to see, and I would really appreciate it. Share my channel with your friends and family if you haven't already. If you know somebody who would enjoy what we're doing here in my kitchen, let them know about it. Share this channel. And friends, we're gonna go enjoy this. Talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day, and God bless.